Here at the Royal Overland Shop today, you've got Sam behind the camera on a walk around of our 1995 Defender 130 that we imported last year. Took it into paint and body at the beginning of August last year, put tons and tons of hours into it, and she is finally ready to offer to you folks at auction here on Bring a Trailer. So without further ado, let's do a walk around video on this beautiful Bonatti Gray 1995 Defender 130 300 TDI model. She's wearing 16-inch sawtooth gloss black alloy wheels. These are wrapped in a Toyo Open Country CT, which is their commercial traction tire. The CTs are a little more aggressive than your ATs, your all-terrains, but less aggressive than your mud tires, your MTs. These have a 65,000 mile warranty on them. They wear super well and also really quiet on the road. We love these tires for solid compromise between an AT and an MT without having all that road noise. Moving down the car, vinyls on the door, peel-aways. Those are quick release peel-away vinyl wrap just for us to cruise around town in it. Below the vinyl, you've got 2 by 3 inch rectangular tubing, 11 gauge, made in-house here, rock sliders. We like our customers to be a little safer in the cars, adds some side impact protection to the car. So that's on the bottom. Moving towards the back, this is a 2009 model year bed. We sourced this bed as it was straighter, less dense, with a very straight tailgate on the car. Wanted to not fill in dents with Bondo or other fillers. We'd rather have just a new quality takeoff bed for the project. On top of the bed, we have our made in-house roll bar. This is 1 3/4 120 wall roll cage tubing, DOM, drawn over mandrel, bent and cut and welded in-house. Top plate's bolted in. Below this tube here, there's a spike that goes down into the bed rail to hold it. On the bed side, landing pads bolted in. Underneath the bed, those do connect to the frame. LED lights for brake, turn, park, and headlights as well. Down to the chassis. Probably best to view the gallery. There's 250 photos, half of which are the underside of the car. You'll notice that the frame has not received any repairs. This is the original rear cross member on the car. There's no cutting, welding, patching of any kind on the vehicle. This is a very good rust-free original chassis. The outside of the frame, as well as the inside of the back half of the frame, was all media blasted while the bed was off. The axles, springs, sway bar, all of that was disassembled and media blasted and repainted as well. So everything underneath the vehicle, when you approach it from all angles, looks nice and crisp and black. It's not undercoating, it's not wax oil. It's an enamel, black enamel implement paint. So it's a very hard black implement paint that should have plenty of years of service in it. Very crisp on the holes, crisp on the overlaps of the materials in the cross member. Very clear that this is not a rusty vehicle by any means. All the bracketry that supports the tub, things of that nature, very crisp, very clean. The inside of the bed was done by Linex. It's our neighbor around the corner. In doing it, the trims on the rear tailgate were all removed, riveted on after the fact, so those have remained natural aluminum. But the remainder of the bed was Linexed. And the way we like to do this is to keep body paint color on the inside here so that there's no odd lines and weird masking at the edge of the bed liner. Carry that along the top of the tailgate and on the inside of the bed rail. And you'll see in the corners of the bed, similarly, the paintwork extends around the lip and inside of the truck bed so that the edge of the bed liner is nice and crisp and clean. And this is 100% solids epoxy. Mike applies this stuff at 1600 psi. It atomizes in the air and then sticks to the surface and is incredibly durable. Very, very nice finish. Much better than your typical body shop applied type of coatings. We have Line-X also do the wheel wells. So you'll see in this car, the wheel wells have also been coated in the same finish, which prevents rock chips. It's super durable. You just pressure wash your wheel wells and make those clean again. Again, the frame on this car, very, very clean. All the bracketry, very clean. It's a really good quality chassis to begin the project with. You can see there's no cutting and welding on the cross member. This is the original unit on the car. But all the original factory welds are still very sound. There's the right side of the vehicle. The AirTech snorkel, providing air intake for the 300 TDI. There's an aftermarket front bumper. It's a fresh gloss black powder coat matched to the sawtooth alloy wheels. It's an aluminum bumper, lightweight. It is winch ready. The vehicle does not yet have a winch fitted, but that will fit nicely on the car.
I like my steak medium rare.
Getting away from the plastic upper wing vents that chalk out in UV light and always are cracking, we moved to laser cut aluminum that have been epoxy primed and then gloss black powder coated as we're done with the bumper to match the wheels as well. You'll see the base of the doors here on top of the new carpet. There's the brushed stainless steel sill panels and trims holding down the carpet and just wrapping up the entrance here, keeping it tidy and clean. Of course, something that won't rust or doesn't have paint that'll chip away. The doors themselves, this is the door frame here with the skin wrapped around the edge of the door frame. The skins and frames were all separated. The skins were thrown away and replaced, but the door frames were body worked, epoxy primed, and paint prepped prior to the skins being installed. So there's epoxy between the steel and the aluminum, which will help us avoid galvanic corrosion in the future. And you can see here the new skin nicely wrapped around the door frame. Done really well. No irregularities on the skin as you go up. Consistent all the way through to the top here without any panel bond or other coverings showing an improper door skin application. The bottom of the door, of course being new, had the new seal applied with the rivets. This is a later style door, two-piece door seals. And go to the rear door. Same story. Door skins replaced. Very consistent all the way down. Drain hole on the door has not rusted away. This car is very, very dry. Very good condition. Across the bottom. Very clean. And again, to match the front, the stainless door sills have been applied with the proper secondary door seal in place. Moving into the cabin area on the car, I think the first thing that will come to your eye is the seats. It's black vinyl, two materials. You have a solid black vinyl and a perforated vinyl, perforated in the interior panels of the seating, top and bottom, and then a gray pipe. We have a double top stitch with a gray pipe consistent throughout to include the dash pad in the car, similarly upholstered. Continuity. The piping and the top stitch closely match the headliner, as well as the headliner push pins and the upper door surrounds. The B pillars in the car and the C pillar and the surrounds in the back were all re-dyed and wrapped where necessary so that the color is consistent through the car. So jumping in here, do start up on the vehicle, and it does have a late model key. Alright, just run. Close the door here, and I've got my voice level pretty low, almost a whisper, so that the microphone doesn't adjust. But this is our cabin here with the engine running. 300 TDI, stock exhaust fitment on the car, and does have the rubber valve train matting on the top to quiet the valve noise. So this is the cab, of our ambient decibel level in the cab here, in the vehicle. We'll give a tip in on the throttle so you can hear the sound change. And you can hear the RPMs climb, but no shakes or rattles in the cabin, and it still remains nice and quiet in the car. So, without violating any traffic laws and going out onto the road, I'll do a quick around the lot drive here, holding the camera, and when we finish that, we'll grab some road time. Stop. We'll feel for reverse. Being a 300 TDI fitted car, it's factory equipped with the R380, shifts really nice in this one. Of course, the R380 was an upgrade for smoother shifting. All of our Land Rover friends will know the history there. Still a 5-speed, but the gear pattern did change to back into the left back into the right for reverse instead of up into the left, as you would have seen on the 200 TDI LT77s, and then the other diesels and petrols that had the LT77s prior to that. So moving along here again, you can hear that turbo spooling. The turbo is nice and healthy. The car does accelerate nicely away from a stop. We've got quite an incline up out of here. I'm gonna wait for traffic to pass. We'll do a quick little jaunt onto the back roads here. In a second. I'm gonna find my way around this corner, get out of everybody's way. We'll do a little county hood cruise. Step up into third, nice and smooth. This road that we're on has probably been repaved without any grinding 4 or 5 times. So it can be a bit rough, but you see that the car is tracking nice and straight. Steering wheel's tight. Doing a very light touch on the wheel here. We'll accelerate a bit and then we'll slide into fourth. Go around the corner, I'll pull my hand completely away from the wheel. Coming up to a T stop here, so I'll get onto the clutch when we get onto the straightaway, and I'll brake late so that we can get a feel for the brakes in this car. Coming in at 60 Ks on the clutch and brake. So very strong braking maneuver there. The car stops nice and straight, doesn't pull one way or the other. Of course, the guy in that F-250 wasn't sure what the heck I was doing. So we'll accelerate pretty hard away from this stop. Second. You can tell you're driving a diesel in this car, but it's not excessively loud. Once you get out of the top end of the rev range in the car, it doesn't drone. It's a comfortable cabin to be in. Under the carpeting, we did apply sound insulation. So of course that helps. And having a nice thick weave carpet on top is an added benefit. So here we're county road cruising speed now, and there's no tachometer in the car, but at this low engine speed, this is your typical cruising environment here in the cabin of this 130 around this semi. And coming up on our friend here. The car drives really nicely, very smooth. It has a nice suspension package underneath the car. The shocks are in good shape. And there's no steering input wobble. I've not experienced a death wobble in the car. The swivel balls have been serviced, so those are shimmed nicely. There's no play in the front steering, front suspension. It's a nicely set up vehicle. So we're coming to a hard right here. There's no moaning from the power steering pump. That's all new. It's been replaced by us here at the shop. So it steers quietly, strong steering input. Doing about 90 Ks here down the county road. So I'm going to weave us back to the shop and sign off the video here. Contact for us through the contact seller is always a great option. If not, feel free to find us on social media, Royal Overland Company. Our website, www.royaloverland.com. Happy to answer any questions and phone calls you have over the next 48 hours or so until the end of the auction. And happy bidding. Good luck to all that are interested.